morning there, guys. It's last check in, I guess it's afternoon on Saturday. Getting some stuff done here in the shop. On the daily drive, we're working on the old Blue Eagle. So you can see I got the hubcaps off and actually balanced my tires since also I'm gonna change the back one here because as you can see this one's getting a little bit, not a lot of tread left on my snow tire right here. So I got another one I had laying around. It's mounted already. Just kind of using up some of the old ones we had laying around for a while. This one I'm gonna balance it quick. Balance the other ones and rotate them. My shocks have been going low on me sometimes too, so I was playing with some soapy water, see what I can find. And it's actually a pretty slow leak though, because it usually lasts about 2 days and they'll be low, but it's in the cold. It lasts like a week in the summertime, so it's a slow leak somewhere. I spent a little time playing around with it for a little while. I forgot to start taping earlier today. I was just kind of getting stuff done. But anyway, so I'm not able to find the leak anywhere. You know, all the different fittings on the shocks and on. Basically, we got a connection point. What we got to drop is my fill spots right here on part of my brace for my trailer hitch I added when I first built the car. Hose goes down the side of the gas tank over here, and goes to shock. There's one shock on that side, and the one shock on this side, right there. So, and we also have a T up in here too. So, tracking all those connections. I didn't find any obvious leaks anywhere with soapy water or nothing. It's a very slow leak too, so it's hard to find one without actually like a sniffer like I used to use in my last job where I built compressors and that kind of stuff where you can really find them very, very small, minute leaks. So I'm probably just going to put the line kit on it just because I'm sick of airing up shocks every 2 days. But so I'm going to do that. I had to fix my exhaust too because my tailpipe decided it wanted to, well, not be in the best of shape. So more or less I'm using my Blue Eagle here. It's got 260,000 on it now, so we're getting down to kind of probably the last season of using it right now before I get the tan one over here ready to drive, which will be my replacement for this one on top of the hoist. So, which I'll be planning to get ready to go here probably in a month or so when I get done with the back room and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, the tip of my tailpipe's had to be a little pissed off and break off on me right here. So I just decided to put this piece on I had laying around, which is a straight piece out of there. It's enough below the bumper, it's fine. It's not ideal, but it's good enough for what I'm doing right now for the wintertime driving. It's more of a winter beater type of car, so it's got 2 clamps on it right here, ready to go. One to clamp it onto my existing tailpipe, and then one to actually hold it. So, but anyway, so we're gonna get to doing my wheel balance operation here right now, and then we'll do the line kit here in a few minutes. So. Now we got all the tires off and stuff. We're gonna get the old balancer fired up. I'll grab this one first here. Get the old Ranger fired up here quick and get ready to go. So, oh, and this is the hole to the back room we talked about. So now that we got that sealed up for the outside, basically, now we can kind of get back to winterizing, getting the vehicles ready for winter, and then we'll get back to that probably in a little bit here. So, and obviously this is kind of the room behind me here, which is why we're kind of gonna do some organization. So this is mostly all car parts and that kind of stuff. And that's where we wanted to work more than anything. It's just it hasn't been able to do that. So we're building a crap load of shelves behind me here, and it'll be a lot nicer to actually build engines in this room. So, but anyway, so now we're over here anyway. First things first, pull your old weights off because as much as you think rebalancing with the current weights works, it does not. So just grab your tool over here quick, hook it on the back side of your little hole there, and bust them off. More or less rebalancing happens just from the fact that obviously you get a little road wear and stuff like that too, especially old cars that, you know, little wore out suspension parts, like being the Eagle out there's got 260,000 on it. So it's got a little bit of wear over the years. And then also you grab your cone. So usually this is a cone for a bigger wheel. Well, there are final cones over here. It should be this one right here. Yep, good to go there. Toss her up. It's always going to be this face right here is going to be the one outward. Luckily this one, this Ranger is a quick release kind of on it, so you can push it past the threads until you get close. which is actually really handy in a lot of ways. Now that we got her all put on there where we're supposed to be. First things first, got her turned on and stuff, and you go into your settings. So your main setting first is going to be your distance. That's the measurement. This tool right here, distance from the front of the machine, basically to your edge of your wheel lip right there. So you get this distance, put that against that. These are your number. In this case, it's going to be 8 inches. We're already at 8 right now. Then you got your wheel width. So use this handy dandy tool right here. Your wheel width, which is really awesome to have one of these if you're at a swap meet. That's all I gotta say. Some of the time. But anyway, your wheel width basically is kind of like just like an alligator mouth kind of deal. Just gonna shove her on both sides, and it tells you the bottom right here. It'll tell you 6 inches in this. Give it your 6-inch number right there. And if you do the other way, you can tell it'll be that one. But obviously, we don't have an 11.5-inch wheel, so it's obviously the 6. Some of that, you can go over here to our dials. It goes about there. It basically more defaults to the 6, and you just push up to do that. Diameter, you go over, but that's the diameter of the wheel, so we know it's a 15-inch wheel. So you go there. Now ready to go. And you can do your different types of balancing types too. Dial it in. So basically for aluminum wheels, different spots you can put the weight. Whereas like a static, this would be like a center where you put the stick-on weights, like in the dead center of like an aluminum wheel, if there's no lip. This one is a standard steel wheel, so we just put the regular weights like you have right here, which go over the edges right here on both sides, inside and out. Or as opposed to like Craigers or a set of, I'll say center line drag racing wheels don't have that lip as easily. I guess both those wheels are bad examples. They both do have that lip actually, but it looks a lot cleaner when you put stick-on weights on. So. And I guess I always balance all of our race wheels the other with stick-on weights majority of the time. And a lot of your wheels that are race wheels in general actually do not use this cone system to balance them. You actually need to balance them with that device right there. It's called lug-centric balancing. So you actually use the lug studs to center the wheel entire combination on the balancer to balance them. Which will be the case for like a centerline wheel, a Cragar SST, all your weld wheels, all of your full drag racing wheels that use a big basically, we'll say shanks. They use a lug nut that has a big long, basically shaft mounted to it. We'll say, for instance, probably a better term for it's not coming to mind right now. That actually centers the wheel on the vehicle, and that's what the lug-centric balancing tool is used for. So in this case, we got a cone. You can use a cone on any standard steel wheel, and most of your aluminum's like on big pickup trucks, that kind of stuff. So that being said, all we gotta do now is we just make sure you're out of the way, just pull your hood down, and just spin it and see what happens. Once it gets a number, it'll start spinning down, and it'll give you your 2 different numbers you want to play with. So once we're done with that, we can pick this up, stop it, and it'll give you your 0.75 ounces on the inner, which would be this side of the face of the wheel, and then you got your outer, which is going to be that number, which is going to be basically the outside rims. Keep turning it until you get a full lock. Like right there, we got full missile lock on them now. So now we gotta basically just use your mark right here, transfer over the top, and that's gonna be your weight goes right there on the wheel, and that will be need the 1.25 ounces. So then we can go into our bin of ounces here, bin of weights, and we do 1.25, center it on there, and then after you do that, you do the inside and spin it again. Show as I got break just over my face. Anyway, and that'll get you in the range where you basically want to be. Sometimes you do it to play with the weight a little bit, and the machine won't always find exact numbers. Sometimes you have to add a quarter ounce where you have to, but otherwise, that gets you in a good spot, and that'll make the vehicle ride a lot smoother, and also to deal with the imbalance of tire wear. So, all right, so now we got our numbers. Now we're gonna put some weights on. So, here's your handy dandy hammer over here. So we need 125 on the outside. So we'll turn it until we get full missile lock again, like I talked about before. There we go. Put it right at the top of your rim like so. Pound around like that. Turn until you find that. They also do have a brake on the bottom of these too, which works some of the time decently. Sometimes it wants to move, but it helps in this case kind of keeping the wheel kind of hanging out where you want it to. So it's not moving all over the place. And usually I always pound from over the top of the tire like this. Just a little easier to get them to go on the proper way. Like that. So. But anyway, now that we got more weight down, we can spin her up again, see what we get. just like that, we got 0-0. So can't complain about that. Well, actually, there's no way to complain about that. It's about as good as it gets. Actually, that is as good as it gets. Anyway, so yeah, we got two nice little weight on one little weight on this side, one little one over here, and now we're ready to go. So now we can break her loose. I'm going with the rest of them. The last one, so we're done. So we can get these off the balancer and back on the Eagle, so I can start on my shock lines and put my hubcaps back on, and obviously I'll torque them all down and that kind of thing too. So I got the new shock lines up on the back side anyway. Got my new T in there, and don't mind the green zip ties. This is my winter beaters, so I wasn't gonna use the black ones on this. As goofy as they look, but anyway, I decided to go with a 2-line system this time. So basically, I got single line. We'll just slipe in the, cut it up in the middle, basically. If I can talk here. And we got, so you got them nice and cleaned out on both sides. So O-rings will seal nice, and then we'll put the O-rings on here in a second once I cut the line in half here. But this is what I originally had. I actually had the T at the bumper like this, single line. The single line ran up into the car, and then I had this T right here, right above the rear end. So I'm just trying to eliminate some more leak points, and then that kind of thing. So I've got my O-rings over here. The other ones all look pretty nice yet. So got the air shocks put in, or the lines I should say. So we got the lines all hooked up right here. These are a little stubborn. I did run double O-rings on them, and then I had to clean the crap out of these because they were kind of rusty. Honestly, just gonna rip the O-rings, just put a little spit on them, works just fine. You know, make sure you gotta have lube, much like other things in life. But anyway. Got both of them on, so I got that one on now. All the zip ties on, that kind of thing. So then got zip tied up alongside the tank down here, everything like that. So we're ready to go with all those things. Got the air shocks done on the winter beater, and then we'll put tires back on here in a second. And I gotta change the alternator belt too. That's a little bit loose. I noticed the white will stay on it for a few minutes in the morning when it's, I got a little oil on it, so it's slipping a little bit. So probably gonna replace that too. And then we should have a pretty good spot to get this thing out of here if we torqued on the tires and stuff, and get the white Eagle in here to get that checked over because 4-wheel drive's not working currently. So lots of Eagle fixing right now today. Well, I got all the tires put on, stuff like that. Everything else checked over underneath as well. Shocks are all done now too. Shock lines are all finished up there. Checked the rear diff. We greased up all the drive shafts. Put some oil in the T case. It was a little bit low. Got to play the front drive track a little bit. Apparently it was loose in the yoke here a little bit, so played around with that and got that fixed. And greased up all the front suspension pieces and everything like that. So we're to spot now and put it on the floor. I also am going to change the thermostat since it's had issues where it hasn't really basically the temperature rides with the temperature of the day, so the thermostat's not regulating it properly. It basically overcools is what it's currently doing. So I'm going to change that so it has a little more heat in the winter, because right now it's like 35 below outside. It's pretty cold in the car, even with the heat, because it just, this keeps circulating. It's not actually like staying in there and bringing heat into the car for me. So not that I mind, not that I can't handle a little bit of cold, but it's handy if it's a little warmer in there if you're able to. So, but anyway, Put it on the floor, I torque the wheels down, I'll pop the petcock out of the radiator, drain that out, pull off the thermostat housing, put a fresh one in, fresh 195 in there, and then we'll get that all glued up. Then I'll fill it up tomorrow morning, and we're ready to start having some more fun with it. All time for the thermostat finally. I was gonna drain it actually, but I see my petcock is directly in line with my tranny lines down there. I don't want to really disturb them that much since the radiator isn't fantastic. It's working fine, but it's not in the best of shape. So I'm just gonna pull it off here and make a little mess, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Probably a combination of both. Because the pan's right now. Well, the skid plate's probably catching it is the problem. Oh, well, we got 4 dry for that. Time for the big mess. Catching it now or no?
It is currently.
Okay. What's that? Gonna be in a couple seconds.
Oh, that's what I was watching. Yeah, pretty much comes out of the same spot on the main.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright. Off of that big shield that's under there.
Yep, regular deal. As you can see, pretty easy job, not too bad. So now we're just gonna get all the rest of this stuff off. So as you can see, it's in a pretty easy spot to get to overall, right here in the front of the block. So it'll drain a little bit. I'll get her cleaned up, and then we can get her re-glued and reassembled. I will say this skid plate definitely does do a nice job of funneling right out that one spot in the corner right there. See, that's what I thought.
It'd be amazing if that even held to 150 degrees.
That's what I thought, because it seems like it's just like super noodle-ish as opposed to normal ones. So, I mean, I can easily push down.
Considering, if you think about it,
I can easily go like this and push it down with my fingertips, whereas that one's like really hard to push, or it would be. I mean, so we can do the same thing, probably not. Yeah, that's a lot different. Okay, so it was junk like I thought it was. Well, now we got it all cleaned up, more or less cleaned up anyway with the wire wheel. And you can see the antifreeze is still running out of the hole. We're actually going to jack the front of the car up, send the antifreeze to the back of the block, then we can dry our surface off, get it ready to glue. Well, we got all this stuff cleaned up. I was going to look in this drill a hole in it, but I see it actually already has like a little flipper door deal in it. Fit for bleeding, actually, for filling, which is freaking fantastic. So, nothing else. I take like a really small drill bit and I just run it right in this kind of seam right here, so it doesn't hit anything worthwhile or anything. That way it can bleed the air, actually. So, I probably did it on this one over here if I put it in last time, I believe is what I did. Well, yeah, right there. You can see my hole I put in last time right there, which allows for bleeding. Allows filling to happen massively faster. So, but that's putting a little glue on the block right now. And then we'll get her all ready to install. Fix thermostat in the hole now. The bleeder at the top, yeah, looks like it is.
I think it is, yeah.
Looks like it does from here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I was making sure it was in the groove good.
Well, yeah, it's got a little flipper door deal on it, so.
They put the glue in these that are sticky on backwards. They've been doing it for 20 years. It has a sticky side, which would allow you to put the thermostat in, stick it to the head, then put your housing on. Instead, they put the sticky on the wrong side, so it does no benefit to you.
Well, technically it would still work, I guess. You stick it to the T housing and then...
But you can't, because it's not, you're using it to stick the thermostat in the motor. Right here, so it stays. So
well, see, you just have to... Some of the thermostat's just going to hang out there. Like, with hopes and dreams and stuff, it's just going to sit there. Come at it when it's hanging there vertically. And that's a wrap. We got it all glued on, so we'll wait till tomorrow. We can put the hose back on, fill it back up, and then I might change some tensioner stuff right now, because I think I got some ones that are making a little noise. Sounds like 2, so. I got a little busy this morning with other stuff, but I finally got back out to the garage here a little bit ago. So I got the hoses back on, belt back on, filling up the antifreeze now, and it kind of drained down. Changed the air filter quick since it had a little bit of bull-by in it. And then we'll get the battery cables put back on, got them cleaned up, check all our fluids and stuff, and then I got to torque down all my tires, all wheels basically, to 100, and then we'll be ready to put the hubcaps back on and put her outside. Wanted to go into town and grab a couple things. I took the Blue Eagle for a test drive here. Never mind the sun blinding me. But anyway, our tire balance is really good. We got nice and smooth right now at 70. Running nice and cool. Nice temp. We got nice warm heat in here. There's that mileage of 260K on this thing. So there's the 70. Nothing wrong with that. Thank you guys for watching this channel. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button there too. Catch you all later.